What makes the topic of tonight important is because there's a challenge with a lot of people being able to maintain their frequency. Remember what frequency is? Frequency is number of cycle per seconds. That means something is vibrating. Your cells are vibrating. This is science. Your cells are vibrating. And either you know it or not, you are emitting electromagnetic wave, which also are in cycles, if you understand physics. Now, the higher the frequency, the speed of vibration, the better it is for you as a human. For example, if the vibration of your cell is very low, it's a sign that the cell is diseased, the cell is sick, you are not okay, you are not fine. When the vibration of your cell is high, it's a sign you are fine, you are okay, and you are doing well, and you are healthy. So what we are looking at today is how do we maintain this frequency such that at most time you are always at a high frequency? Because when you're at a high frequency, you will increase the chance of manifesting your desired reality. You increase the chance of manifesting your desired reality. Let me start by quoting the scripture that says that we can understand God by studying creation or the work of his hand. It says, for the invisible things of him are clearly seen, being understood. The invisible things of him for creation are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and God so that they are without excuse. God's eternal power and character cannot be seen. But from the beginning of creation, God has shown what these are like by all that he has made. That is why those people don't have any excuse. I would like to state that some of the languages used in scriptures are based on the limitation and understanding of the writers at that time. If the scripture is going to be written today, you're going to see the word like energy, frequency, and vibration, because that's what life is all about. You see this life? Everything in this life is energy, frequency, and vibration. This is so important. You are full of energy. The reason you are alive is because you have energy. How is the energy generated? When you breathe in oxygen, you breathe in oxygen. That oxygen goes into your lungs. In the lungs, it enters the alveoli, where it's going to go through the cell, epithelial cell of the alveoli within your lungs, to enter into the bloodstream as the oxygen diffuses from your lung into the capillary of the blood. CO2 diffuses from the blood into the alveoli, and that's why you are able to exhale CO2. But how is the CO2 produced? The blood is carried to the heart with the oxygen pump it out through the aorta to different parts of the body. And when it gets to different cells of the body, remember, this same blood is already carrying glucose from the food you have eaten. The glucose and the oxygen get into the cell, diffuse through the cell wall into the cell, and go into the mitochondria. In the mitochondria, which is called the powerhouse of the cell, there is something called Krebs cycle in biochemistry. The Krebs cycle is a process whereby the body produces energy. Energy is ATP, adenosine triphosphate. It produces energy from the combination of the oxygen and glucose. And the energy is produced plus CO2. So glucose plus oxygen equals to ATP plus CO2. If you are familiar with chemistry, that's an equation in chemistry. Energy is adenosine triphosphate. The ATP is the energy molecule produced. The higher this energy molecule, the higher the level of vibration of your cells. And that's a sign your cell is healthy. When the body cannot produce this energy, in the bid to conserve the energy, the rate of vibration of your cell is reduced. When you have a high rate of vibration, you're able to emit electromagnetic wave through the brain and the heart at a frequency that is able to match whatever you desire in the universe, in the God system of the universe. Now, I'm laying down foundation for what we want to discuss today. Now, so you can see how the body produces energy. Energy, frequency. The cell vibrate at a frequency. The cell vibrate at a frequency. The rate of frequency, the rate of vibration of the cell is what determines the frequency. Everything vibrates, not just you, not just your body cell. The chair you are sitting on is vibrating. The bed you are sitting on is vibrating. The phone in your hand is vibrating. The table, the plate in your hand, the spoon, everything vibrates, only that they vibrate at a very low frequency. Look at water molecule. When water molecule vibrate at a low frequency, you can see it's water. When the vibration becomes very low, it becomes an ice, solid. But when it vibrates at a high frequency, you can't see. When it vibrates at a high frequency, you can't see. Why? Because at that point, it's a water vapor. It's a water vapor. So, now, for example, love, joy, and peace. Love, joy, and peace. Love, joy, and peace make you to be at a high frequency of vibration. Anger, hatred, guilt, fear, animosity, these are the character of evil, and they make you to be at a low frequency of vibration. That is why when you are in Christ, which means you are full of love, joy, and peace, evil power cannot harm you. I was talking to someone this evening. I said, the reason the Bible says that he that is born of God sinneth not. And he said, you see this person that is born of God? He said, the wicked one toucheth him not, whosoever is born of God. Whosoever is born of God. The wicked one toucheth him not, whosoever is born of God sinneth not, because he is begotten of God, and keepeth himself. Because he that is begotten of God keepeth himself. And the wicked one, the reason the wicked one cannot touch him is because evil is at a frequency. You need to understand this. It's at a frequency. You are at a high frequency. It's like you have a bottle in your hand. If you vibrate the bottle, your hand is moving front and back, and you're vibrating the bottle. If a fan is rotating at the highest speed, if you put it there and you're vibrating with your hand, it will hit it and cut it off because the fan is vibrating at a high frequency. That is the reason why, as long as you're in Christ and living the life, you are protected. Why? Because you're at a high frequency of vibration. You are at a high frequency of vibration. God has set forth system on the earth, and this makes him not interfere in the way earth operates every time. Some of these systems include water cycle, carbon cycle, phosphorus cycle, nitrogen cycle. He has also put a system in your body, different kind of system. Circulatory system, nervous system, endocrine system, lymphatic system, excretory system, gastrointestinal system, muscular system. He has put different systems in your body, and these systems are able to operate autonomously without any interference. They just respond to the stimuli provided by your environment. That's why when you enter a place that is hot, your body responds. How does your body respond? Your body responds because the heat is sensed by the nerve on your skin. That nerve on your skin sends a message to the brain. The sweat center in the brain stimulates increased blood flow to your skin. That sweat center also stimulates opening of the sweat pores on your skin to allow the sweat gland to extract water from the blood and for the water to come on your skin, because evaporation causes cooling. That's physics. Evaporation causes cooling. Evaporation causes cooling. So the reason why you sweat is so that water can come out of your blood on your skin, and that water evaporates. As it evaporates, you cool. Even though the heat is still there, but you don't feel the heat as much again because Your body has responded. You don't even know what is going on. It's a system God has put in place. That's the way God operates. If you don't understand that, you think God is jumping up and down trying to answer your prayer when he has put a system in place to answer your prayer. What you need to do is to plug in. He said, whatsoever you desire when you pray, believe you have received and you shall have it. You can only have what you already have. You can only have what you already have. You can only have what you already have. So today, we are looking at how to maintain your frequency for manifestation. How do you maintain your frequency for manifestation? How do you maintain your frequency? How do you ensure that you are always, or most time, at a high frequency? By frequency, I mean a state of consciousness. There are about 1% of people in this life that have unshakable frequency. There are some people in this life, no matter what life throws at them, they are able to transmute it into something that benefits them. No matter what life throws at them, and life will throw shit at you. Life will throw shit at you. Life will throw a lot of things at you. To some people, when life throws shit at them, they use the shit to rub their body. So they become dirty, smelling, but someone else will convert the shit to manure and use it to grow the food they will eat. Can you see different mindset? The life throws shit at two people. The person that is now aware of life, who is always blaming others for his issue, who doesn't even know what is going on when such thing happen, he will use the shit to rub his body more so people can see it and pity him, self-pity, and be smelling and repelling people, relationship, destroying it. But someone else, will, as the shit is thrown, he will catch the shit, use it to make manure, plant on it, and reap from the shit. Life will throw shit at you. It is also important to state that at this point that while trying to manifest your desired reality, avoid middlemen. Middlemen. What's a middleman? For example, I need a car. I don't need money to get a car. I don't need a job to get a car. I want a car, period. How the car will come is for God to decide. If I do the work, the car will come, either because I have a job, or someone dashed me, or I won a visa lottery. There are many ways that the car can come. Avoid the middleman. You need a job. You need a job. You need a job. If you need a job, the job can come in different ways. It can come in different ways. Avoid middleman. Avoid middleman. That means you are not focusing yourself on the how of what you need will happen. You do your part as human, leave the rest to God. If you want a car, focus on the car, not the money to get the car, because the car can come without the money. By focusing on the money, you are focusing on the how of your desired reality and how the reality will be manifested. And this should not be your call, but rather that of God's system on earth. Start to be in the frequency of what you start to be in the frequency where you are now, where you now have the car, and not the frequency of money for the car. Same is applicable for other things you want to manifest. Focus on the problem you want to solve, not trying to solve it by yourself. Focus on the problem you want to solve with your manifestation. Don't try to manifest what you need to solve the problem. Focus on the problem you want to solve. Don't try to focus on how you will solve it. Please explain the middleman. Okay, let me give you another example. I need a house. I need my own personal apartment. The next thing is to be looking at where will I get money to get this, to rent my own apartment. Why do you think you need the money? To manifest that apartment, you might have a friend who just got a new place and eventually got an admission, need to travel, and he say, see, I just paid for this place, so and I can't get my money back from the landlord. Can you come and stay there? Because I'm traveling, and so someone can use it before the rent expires. What is important is that you got the apartment without paying. It could be that you got money, someone gave you money to pay. I'm trying to say that when you want to manifest something, avoid how it will happen. Focus on the problem. Ekene, I hope I've answered your question. So avoid middleman. Avoid middleman. Avoid middleman. Now, the first thing you must have in order to have what is called unshakable frequency, in order to maintain your frequency, is to begin to see problem that you have as being already solved. See the problem you have as being already solved to maintain unshakable frequency. See the problem you have as being already solved. See the problem you have as being already solved. See the problem you have as being already solved. Seeing problem is a sign that you are trapped in the physical realm where there's polarity, good and bad. In the spiritual realm, there's no polarity. There's no polarity. Everything is one and the same. So you need to see things as God sees it in the spiritual realm. Remember that based on the law of polarity, problem and solution are the same energy, but at different rate of vibration. Listen to that. Ice and vapor, the same energy, different rate of vibration. Ice and vapor, the same energy, different rate of vibration. Ice and vapor, the same energy, different rate of vibration. Success and failure, the same energy, different rate of vibration. Success and failure, the same energy, different rate of vibration. Fear and courage, the same energy, different rate of vibration. Fear and courage, the same energy, different rate of vibration. Peace and worry, the same energy, different rate of vibration. Immediately you understand that, you now learn how to focus your attention on the end of the spectrum you want. At the end of the spectrum you want. So something has happened. It's a problem. This problem wants you to be worried. That's a rate of vibration. The other end of the spectrum is peace. Focus on being peaceful. Focus your attention on things that bring peace, not on that problem. Why? Because you see the problem as solved. If you want to maintain your frequency, you must see your problem as solved. Because if you do not see your problem as solved, you're going to be worried, you're going to be full of fear. It's going to bring you down to a low level of vibration. It's going to bring you down to a low level of vibration. The problem in your life exists because your rate of vibration is skewed towards the problem end of the spectrum. Remember, problem and solution, the same energy, different rates of vibration. The rate of vibration is dependent on your focus, on your concentration, and what you give your attention to. The reason why you see problem is because you focus and concentrate your attention on the problem. Do you know? Whatever you are not focusing on does not exist. Whatever cannot get your attention does not exist. Remember, attention creates alignment. If you focus your attention on the problem, you align with the problem. And as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If you focus your attention on the problem, you align with the problem. And as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. You focus your attention on the problem, you align with the problem. And as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Stop focusing your attention on the problem. Stop focusing your attention on the problem. The real challenge we have as humans is focusing attention on the problem. If you want to maintain your frequency, ladies and gentlemen, just do as if the problem is solved. You know, when you know what is going on, whenever there's a problem, if you know what is going on, if you are conscious, when you become panic, you aggravate the problem further. But when you are at peace, you attract situations and circumstances that will provide solution to that problem. Meaning, you must make up your mind in your life and tell yourself, in this life, I will never worry again. I will never be fearful again. When things come around that make me worry, immediately you lose your peace. The next thing is to change your focus. Just change your focus. Just change your focus. Just change your focus. You can look for music that tell you to appreciate God, to thank him in that situation. He said, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatever things are just, whatsoever things are good report, whatsoever things are praiseworthy. He said, think on this. So the scripture already gives us the protocol of what you should think about, the protocol that should guide your focus and attention in life. The scripture gives us that, but we lose ourselves and forget that recommendation of the scripture and focus the attention on the problem. Whatever you focus on, expand. Whatever you focus on, expand. Whatever you focus on, expand. Attention create alignment, guys. Attention create alignment. Whatsoever you focus on, expand. Attention create alignment. Whatsoever you focus on, expand. Attention create alignment. Whatsoever you focus on, expand. So don't focus on the problem. Don't focus on the problem. Focus on the solution. So what challenge do you have in your life right now? What is it that is creating fear, panic? What is it that you are not happy about and you want to change that situation? Focus your attention. Focus your attention. Focus your attention. On the right thing. Remember, that thing creating fear is not real. Reality is an illusion. Reality is an illusion. Please note, reality is an illusion. That thing creating problem is not real. It's not real. It's not real. It's not real. You are the one that give it the energy it has. It's deriving its energy and sustenance from you. Why? Because by focusing on it, you make it expand. You feel bad, you feel unhappy. That energy, emotion is energy in motion. That energy empowers it to continue. Because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. See the problem as already solved. Seeing problem is a sign that you are trapped in the physical realm. Remember, the reason why you see problem is because you focus on it. The moment you change your focus, your concentration, and what you give your attention to, the problem ceases to exist. So see your problem as already solved. 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 Because you can only have what you already have. Remember, whatsoever you desire when you pray, believe you have received and you shall have it. You can only have what you already have. If you don't have it, you will not have it. If you don't receive it vibrationally, you will not receive it physically. If you don't receive it spiritually, you will not receive it physically. also, you need to transcend your concept of time, because your subconscious mind does not understand the concept of time. It's only understand the moment now, because sometimes you're expecting something to happen and you want it now. So you already put a timeline to it. Because you put a timeline to it, and it doesn't happen at that time, you begin worry. Why? Because you are living in the physical realm where time exists. But in the spiritual realm, time does not exist. You need to begin to see your problem as solved already now, because saying it will be solved in future means nothing to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind does not understand future. It does not understand past. It understands now. It understands now. It understands now. So the problem is solved, not that will be solved. This is why scripture says that let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich. Let the weak say, I am strong. Let the poor say, I am rich. The scripture is saying, see your problem as solved. See it as solved. He didn't say, I will be strong. He didn't say, I will be rich. Let the sick say, I am healed. See it as solved. Please note that you take action in life based on your mental nudges. Your mental nudges are based upon your intuition, your inner guidance. Your mental nudges are based upon your intuition, your inner guidance. And your intuition are based upon your frequency. I'll take that again. You take steps in life based on your mental nudges. Your mental nudges are based on your intuition. Your intuition is your inner guidance, and your intuition are based on your frequency. When there is a problem, I gave you guys a video, an audio during the December session. You can go back and check. It show you how to breathe in a way to make your brain to produce what is often called theta brain wave. You see that theta brain wave? That theta brain wave make you to be in a state where you can receive intuition. So when you have a problem, if you listen to the audio, when you have a problem, if you listen to the audio and you breathe the way he explained, after like 5-10 minutes, you see that problem you have, begin to think about it, not thinking and worrying, looking for solution in your mind. And you know what? If you do it long enough, ideas will be dropping on your mind. Ideas will be dropping on your mind. Ideas will be dropping on your mind on how, what you can do. That's why some people smoke. That's why some people drink. That's why some people take marijuana to get inspiration, to get intuition. You don't need to do that. You can spend time in meditation, and then this will come to you. Because there is a spirit in man, and in the inspiration of the Almighty, give them understanding. There is a spirit in man, and the inspiration of the Almighty, give them understanding. Let's say you see let's say that you see what you are going through now as a problem. You see what you are going through now as a problem. That will mean your intuition and inner guidance or inner teaching that you are downloading. That will mean what you will be downloading will be calibrated based on the frequency of the problem. Based on the frequency of the problem. So if I see a problem as problem and I don't see it as solved, I will be at a frequency that will make me to be receiving ideas based on the problem, frequency of the problem. That means things that will be coming to my mind will be things that will aggravate the problem. That means the mental nudges that you'll be acting upon will be mental nudges that will drive you towards that problem. Towards that problem. For example, someone have done something. Rather than own up, you want to run away. It is the focusing on the problem and the fear that result that made him to want to run away. The focusing on the problem has not already solved. The focusing on the problem has not already solved. The focusing on the problem has not already solved. That is making them. The focusing on the problem has not already solved. That's making them to receive ideas that want them to want to run away. The reason you want to run away is because you are not seeing the problem as already solved. When you begin to see the problem as already solved, when you begin to see the problem as already solved, you will not be in a frequency that will make you to be fearful and want to run away. Because running away from the problem will mean the problem is going to come again. Like it's been said, he who fight and run will live to fight another day. He who fight and run will live to fight another day. He who fight and run will live to fight another day. You're not supposed to run away from the problem. But the reason is because you focus on the problem, it created fear, then you have the wrong idea. Oh, I need to run away. Oh, I need to run away. Oh. But if you focus on solution and you believe it's solved, the idea that will be coming to your head is things you can do to fix it. Things you can do to fix it. That means you'll be receiving inner guidance that will make you to do things to create more problem. Like wanting to do something bad to someone that did something bad to you. This makes the situation get worse. Wanting to do something bad to someone that did something bad to you. That makes the situation to get worse. Wanting to do something bad to someone that did something bad to you. You simply make the situation to get worse. Period. Why? Wanting to do something bad to someone that did something bad to you. Why? Because you do not see the solution. Look at the positive end of what the person have done. Solution to the problem. Solution to the problem. Now, I'm basically saying, ladies and gentlemen, that the idea that comes to your mind when you are focusing on problem are ideas that will make you to do things that will aggravate the problem. Period. That's what I'm saying. The idea that comes to your mind will be idea that will make you to do things that will aggravate the problem. And the reason is because you are at a frequency that brings to you mental nudges. You are at a frequency that brings to you mental nudges that make you to do dumb things. But you don't know it's dumb. And the reason you don't know it's dumb is because you can't even see clearly. Why? Attention is alignment. Ladies and gentlemen, always remember, attention is alignment. What you focus on, expand. And one of the ways you expand it is what I've just explained. Because you're going to do things that will aggravate it further. So when you have a problem, don't take action based on what comes to your mind as an intuition while you are still focusing on the problem. Hello? Hello? When you have a problem, don't anything that comes to your mind as an intuition, an idea, when you are still focusing on the problem, don't do it. 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 First of all, change your vibration and consequently your frequency by focusing your attention. Change your vibration and consequently your frequency by focusing your attention. By focusing your attention. By focusing your attention on the solution, on the positive end of the spectrum. By focusing your attention on the solution, on the positive end of the spectrum. Focus your attention on the solution. Focus your attention on the solution. And on the positive end of the spectrum. Why is this important? When you focus on something, immediately you focus your attention on the positive end, you vibrate at the frequency of the positive end. You receive intuition from that end. And that is going to be an intuition, an idea that will not aggravate the problem, but rather made it better. It will be a practical, actionable solution. It will be a practical, actionable solution. A practical, actionable solution. Do this long enough to eliminate any sad, bad feeling, any sad feeling, any bad feeling. Do it long enough to eliminate bad feeling, sad feeling. Do it long enough to eliminate bad feeling, sad feeling. And then begin to take action based on the intuition that comes to your mind while you are in the frequency of solution, not the frequency of problem. How will you feel when the problem is solved? You probably will feel relieved, calm, peaceful, and safe. How will you feel when the problem is solved? You probably will feel relieved, calm, and safe. This is the way you need to begin to feel when you focus on solution. And this will make you to vibrate at the frequency of solution. So see your problem as already solved, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, begin with the end in mind, living in the future until you have no present conceptualization of the problem. Living in the future until you have no present conceptualization of the problem. I will have to break this particular session into two because I need to emphasize this. Because I know the reason why many of us are unable to maintain the right frequency is because we have a lot of issues, challenges, things in our life we don't want. And by the way, all of us have it. You don't have an idea of what I'm dealing with as a human being. You don't have an idea. We all have it. We all have challenges. But I know that if I allow that to weigh me down, I'm going to attract more of similar problem and challenge. You know, when you are aware of what is going on in your life, when you are aware It's very important as human being to be aware of what is going on. It is when you are not aware of what is going on that you feel sad, you feel unhappy, you feel morose. And look at what happened. Look at the screen. Look at the screen. Look at the screen. You go down. You go down. You go down. At that frequency, look at the shame. Can you see shame? Is the lowest. Miserable and humiliation. Where you are the frequency of shame, you are miserable and humiliation. You attract humiliation to yourself. Guilt, blame, victimhood. Guilt, blame, victimhood. Victimhood. Victimhood, apathy, helplessness, and hopelessness. When you are miserable and humiliated, you are the frequency of vibration of shame. When you feel victimized and blame others, you put yourself at the frequency of vibration of guilt. When you are hopeless and helpless, you put yourself at the frequency of vibration of apathy. When you are sad and full of regret, you put yourself at the frequency of vibration of grief. When you are full of worry and anxiety, put yourself at the frequency of vibration of fear. 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 When you are full of anger and aggression, you put yourself at the frequency of anger. When you're full of hate and aggression, when you are full of greed and insatiable, you put yourself at the frequency of desire. Let me tell you the challenge of desire. Desire is a sign that you don't have it. When you desire something, you are desperate to have it. It's a sign you don't have it, and you can only have what you already have. You can only have what you already have. Don't create a space between yourself and what you want to manifest in your life. Don't create a space between both of you. Do not create a space between both of you. You create a space between both of you when you create a space between both of you when you're desperate for it. You want it at all cost. You want it at all cost. You want it at all cost. So let me ask you, what is the challenge you are faced with right now? That's the reason you are not at the frequency of vibration you should be, because you are worried about the problem, because you are worried about the challenge, because you are worried about the situation, because you are worried about the circumstances, because you are worried. That state of worry is not where you should be. Should it be in that state of worry? That's not where you should be. But the reason you are in that state of worry and anxiety is because you are focusing on the problem. You need to do things that will take your mind off the problem and have a reason to thank God for what God has done. Because this problem is probably 5% area of your life. There are many other areas of your life you have reason to be thankful. Focus on those things. And begin to ask yourself, if this problem is solved, how will I feel? That's the feeling I should be having. If I become vibrationally aligned with the solution, I will attract the solution to myself. But if I'm full of worry and anxiety, I'm not going to help myself. Like I said, I have 5 things I want to talk about in maintaining your frequency, but this is most important, number 1. The other things, I will talk about them next week. Let me hear from you. What have you learned this evening? Good evening, everyone. What have you learned? What have you learned? And what will you be implementing? Number 1 on my list is Ekene. Ekene, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, thank you so much for today. Thank you. I really appreciate this time. So I'm actually going to focus on trying to see the problem as being solved already. Actually, that's how I want to see it. I think the problem as it had been solved already. No, and not believing in the middleman, like you said. Yeah. So I'm not going to try to believe in a middleman. So, but however, I wish I can get that audio you
I've
spoke
dropped it on
about.
the
I'm
WhatsApp
so
group.
sorry. Okay, okay. Thank you so much, sir. I'll download it, sir. Yeah, because
Eunice,
and
yes, go ahead.
okay, okay, because this visualization thing, I actually put it into. Okay, let me use you people now as like my what this grammar now, accountability partners, right? Okay, there was a competition I enrolled for online. It's quite worldwide. So since that day, actually, since the day I saw the opening for that competition, I've been trying to always visualize myself as top 10 or top 100 or maybe in the number one. And I want to remain at that visualization level.
So this is what
And the
you do.
competition,
This is what you do.
yeah, okay,
You
okay,
visualize. Imagine when you win, what will happen? What first of all,
okay.
what will happen if you win now? What will happen? Is it that you are going to get a scholarship? They're going to give you money. What will they do? And when they do
They'll
that
give me
thing,
money. Okay,
and when they do that thing, how will you feel? You see the way
okay,
you feel? That is what you should be seeing when you visualize.
okay,
That's what you
okay.
should be seeing when you visualize. Thank you.
All right. Yes, sir.
Eunice, good
Thank you, sir.
evening.
Good evening, sir. Good
Good
evening,
evening. How are
everyone.
you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you too, sir?
Very fine.
Okay. From the class today, I'm reminded of this consciousness
Yeah.
that has to be a continuous thing. And there was something that you said that a line that I picked out was that you should not separate yourself from your manifestation. That's where I understood it.
Yes.
You and
You
your
are the same.
manifestation
You are the same. Don't
should
put
be
a gap
one.
between you. You are the
Yes, I
same.
think that's where we usually find ourselves, because it's very easy to itemize
You know why?
something
You
that
know
you
why
are.
you are seeing yourself separate, because you see yourself in the physical realm. In the spiritual realm, there's no separation. There's no separation. You are far away from me. I'm here. We are the one and the same in the spiritual realm. There is no separation in the realm of the spirit. So it's in the physical realm there is separation. So my desired reality is out there, and God has created it already. What I need to do is to attract it to me. And frequency or vibration make me to position to receive it, because goodness and mercy shall follow you. You're not supposed to pursue it all the days of your life. So until you realize the fact that I'm not supposed to be separated by saying I will get it, it's a sign that I don't have it right now. And that's the gap. Until I see myself as one and the same with you, which means I have it, then I won't have it, because you can only have what you already have. Go ahead.
Okay. I would like to. I don't know if I've asked this question before, but how do you maintain this kind of frequency? It's very easy to. I realize that it's very easy to say, okay, this is my commitment. This is what I'm going to do. But most times we slip off during the day, especially when you are among, number one, our societal norm, the cultural framework of where we find ourselves does not really accommodate this type of thinking. One, then most of the family background and all of that do not really, would I say,
Oh,
support
I get you.
this.
I get you.
Then even it's everywhere, even at work, you find yourself, yes, among people that we don't think like that. It's not like it's like a cultural defect. You are seen as a divergent kind of, and it's very easy to slip into what is normal, not consciously now, but sometimes unconsciously, because it is what it
I
is,
get you.
you know.
I get you.
How
Now,
do we manage this state for a very long period of time,
let,
especially when there's
I
a
get you.
particular thing
You don't
you
need
want
to
to
explain.
manifest?
I get you. Don't mute. Don't mute. I get you. This is what you do. Now you know in the office, this will likely happen or usually happen, and it will lead to this in my response. Since I have an idea what will happen, anticipate it, visualize it, Imagine it happening and see yourself responding instead of reacting. The reason you react is because you are not prepared for it. Subconsciously, you are not prepared. When you visualize it, if you do it long enough, you know it's a reflex reaction. It's from the subconscious mind. But when you have visualized it ahead and you prepare your subconscious mind, you will see yourself responding. You yourself will be shocked that you responded because you already prepare your mind. Meaning, there's someone I know almost every week or every day, he will do something. And I don't know, different things. I will begin to imagine it happening. When he does this, what will I do? What will I say? And you do that.
But sir,
Wait
your
now. Let me
response.
your response. What happened? Go ahead. Your
Okay.
response was.
Must your response always be okay? Let me put it. Must response or responding to a situation must it always be calm and
Oh yes.
collected?
Oh yes.
Are
Oh
there not
yes.
degrees to response?
Oh
Like
yes.
there's sometimes
You
that
can't
we need
afford to be
just.
aggressive. Hello. You cannot afford to be
I'm not
aggressive.
saying it.
You can't. Let me tell you why.
Like be more
You
aggressive
can't
and
afford to lose your peace.
person of
Does not mean. Hold on, now, Julius. Does not mean you can't talk and talk, but you can't afford to lose your peace. Meaning you can't shout. Meaning you can't yell. Meaning you can't be angry.
Right.
Meaning you can't be violent, but you can still stop. You can still
Oh,
respond.
okay.
Now, the reason
Sir,
you have not done it, let me tell you, is because you have not put yourself in that situation. If
Sir,
you
I'm asking this question because
Mhm.
I'm very sorry for cutting you short because it's
No
a question
problem.
I'm very passionate about now. Because I've practiced this response and I've done it, and it made some set of people label me as say I'm not belligerent. I don't know how to, and this
hold on.
person that was
Hold on.
labeling me, you cannot handle.
Hold on.
The
If you
person
don't
was
tell
trying
me
to
in
use
clear
it.
time, hold on, Julius. If you don't tell me in clear time what happened, I won't be able to assist you.
Okay, let me
what did the person do?
let me make it clear now.
Hold on.
Let me make it very
Hold on. Let me tell you what I want you to say. What did the
okay.
person do? What was your response? And so I
Okay.
will know why they label you. Go ahead.
Okay. A senior colleague, was very rash. I was busy doing something, and she was insisting on seeing me. And what I was doing was physical, and I was going up the stairs with what I was doing. And she stays upstairs. Our office is upstairs. I come from downstairs upstairs. So I was doing that thing. I was going up, carrying things upstairs, and sorting things out. And in the middle of that ethic work, she saw me with nose marks and all, and she called me that she want to see me. And my response was, okay, I'm coming, because I was busy doing something. Then she called again later. I want to see that after I went up again. And I said, okay, please, can you wait, or can you reach out to my other? She was just trying to get me agitated and react.
No,
In
that's
the
not true.
midst of
That's not
acknowledging.
true. That's not true.
The situation,
Hold
I'm
on,
just saying it in a very calm way.
now. No, hold on. That's not true. Immediately call you the second time. It's not getting you. You are the one that doesn't want to answer. Why don't you leave what you're doing and go and meet him? Don't leave what you're doing and go and meet him. You're the one creating the problem.
Because what I was doing was
what it means is that leave what you're doing and come. Leave it and go and meet him. What you are
what I
doing
was
is not
doing
that
was
if you don't do it now, something will fall down. The bank will go up with
yes,
the same.
because it was an urgent
How urgent
instruction
urgent?
from
How
someone
urgent is
higher
urgent?
than her.
Of all,
It was
and the
another
person that you should
instruction from someone higher than her that we should do that thing.
hold on now. The person that says you should do that thing does not mean when you finish talking to her, you can't continue and finish that thing. It doesn't mean you can. You are the one creating that problem, in my opinion. You're the one. Because immediately you know the way people behave, then you know how to act. You know this person before, you're working with him. And he's saying, I say you should
Okay,
come.
sir.
You leave it and go and meet him.
Sir,
And then
can
you
I
talk, and then you
continue?
continue what you are doing. Go
Sir,
ahead.
can I continue?
Go ahead.
You're already judging the situation without me
I'm not judging,
finishing.
no.
Okay, so
I'm talking based on what you said.
I now left that thing
Yeah.
to her. And what she was asking or wanted to say
Mhm.
was something very, very baseless. Number one, it was something that was not even called for. Like, it's
Hold
not a
on. Say
question.
it. You better say it because you are
Asking.
the one concluding is baseless.
She
What
was
is it
she
I
was
said?
saying something against the policy. I may not be able to disclose that
No,
information
you don't
here.
need
She
to
was
say
saying
it
something
in
against the
full.
policy.
Again, why is he saying it to you?
I
Hello?
don't know. Then I referred her to someone else who was available downstairs that could pick up a call and answer her questions and her
Is it a
inquiries
policy
concerning
against a
that.
transaction she wanted that you are not treating?
A policy, not just against her travel. She was asking, like, generally, if she does this, if she does it, can we accept this? And we
Now,
should
because
knew
you are in
it.
operation, she's in marketing.
She's someone that always comes to bully and claim that she has been
Can you see
in
your
that
label now? Can you see
role.
your label now? Can you see your label now? That's the reason
Sir,
you're not responding
no,
to her.
she's always saying this. I'm not
Eunice,
sorry
you
to.
can't see yourself. I'm seeing
She's
you. You can't
always
see yourself.
saying it,
Eunice, you
sir. She's
cannot see
always saying
yourself.
this thing.
You know
She's
the issue
always
now.
saying it. It's not something I'm labeling her
Hello,
for. She's always
hello,
saying it that none
hello.
of us, she has been in that role for 12 years, that
Eunice,
none of us can
Eunice,
teach her the job.
Eunice. You are not listening to me. Oh. I can see you. You can't see yourself.
Okay.
You can't see yourself. I can see you. I said you are labeling. Let me tell you something. And maybe because you don't attend regularly, I've said this before. Any colleague in the office you have issue with, begin to love them in your mind. See yourself greeting them. See yourself caring for them. Don't do it physically. In your mind. Don't fight them in your mind. If you begin to show love and care and concern in your mind, I can assure you, it's just a matter of time. Their attitude toward you will change. You know why? You see that you are created in your mind? It's not separated from it. They can hear you subconsciously. They can hear you subconsciously. You are communicating something to them. You have labeled this person and he wants to get back at you guys and show you guys that he's his senior because you have labeled. You say it's a bully already. So you are going to give him the energy of a bully and he's going to show you indeed that he's a bully. And I'm saying, you guys, it's like I know this is the way this person behaves. That's exactly the reason why I will do what he wants because it doesn't cost me anything to do what he wants. In fact, when I do it, he's going to see me differently. But when I say that, why is he doing that? Why can't he ask this person? Why can't he do this person? You have not said it to him physically. You say it in your mind, can hear you. I can assure you, he's hearing you subconsciously. He's going to influence her or his or her attitude towards you. So I'm saying,
Okay.
I can see you. You can't see yourself. Don't argue. If you argue, that means you don't want to solve the problem. If you are arguing against what you have just, unless it's more than what you have just talked about, you don't solve. I'm telling you how you solve that problem. The way you solve that problem, let me give you an example. That kind of person, on Saturday like this, you can just give him a call. Hello, sir, how are you? I just want to check on you, check up on you, and say how your weekend is going. Now, he's not expecting it from you, and you are greeting him. You are greeting him. You don't know what you are communicating. You don't know what you are communicating. You don't understand. You need to get to that point that in your mind, the way you see this person is different. And I can assure you, within a short time, his attitude is going to change towards you because you have created what you want in your mind. Do you know everybody is wearing a mask? Everybody is wearing a mask. The mask people show you is not who they are. They show you the side of them you want to see. Everybody is wearing a mask. Have you seen a sister, an aunt before? Let's say your mom went to the sister's place and the children of the sister see your mom, who is their aunt. I love my auntie so and so. They love your mom. You are the child of the mom. You know your mom is like this. But to your sisters, your cousin, no, they are not like that. They're not like that. Why? Why? Because your mom is wearing a mask. The mask, when you see someone positive, that person to someone else is negative. The way they behave, the way they see them. So I'm trying to say that person, you are seeing a mask of him that is showing you based on your attitude. And I can tell you, you can change that mask. Go ahead and respond.
Okay, I understand what you're trying to say now to label the kind of perspective I want to see of this person.
You get the point.
Right?
You decide this is where you see this person. This is the way you want to see
But
this person. Yes, go ahead.
that's why I was still going that I've tried this not just with this person, but and this is the person that always wants to have a way with wrong transaction, like something that you know that is wrong. You always want to try to push it another.
So
If
you're
push
going to
comes
another
to
place
shove,
now. You're going to another place now.
no,
If someone is
that's where
bringing
I'm
a
going.
transaction that is against the policy, I won't do it
Yes,
because it will affect my
that's where
job.
I'm.
No, no, no. That's
Yes,
different.
that's where
That's
I'm
different. That's
going.
different. That's different. That's different. Look, let me tell you.
That's where I'm
I
going.
can
Like, that's why I
decline
was
your
trying to.
transaction and I will decline it with courtesy. I can decline your
That's where I was
transaction
going.
and I will
I
decline
already
with
knew
courtesy. Go ahead.
exactly. So that was where I was coming from. I was not coming from the place of I was seeing her as a bully or something, but when she called and said, "Okay, I need to see you," I already knew what she wanted to. That's the way she is. It's always one. Everybody even knows her in the office. That person. So that day she asked, "Okay, if she does this," I was even taken aback that you that is in this position and you're always saying that you've done 12 years on this role. You should know better. You shouldn't be asking me that question.
Yeah.
Moreover, you are asking me in between doing a very hectic job. It just looked like you were just looking for an occasion. I did still take it. Okay, I answered you and I said, if you need further inquiries, please call my colleague that is downstairs that has attended to customers. You can easily get any information you want from her. Then I returned to what I was doing. Long
Okay.
story short, she just was blah blah blah. She's me that she really wants to talk to. And I was like, why is it me you want to talk to
Why are
concerning
you asking
do
that
you
question? Why are
expect
you
I
asking
didn't
that question? Why are you asking that
do
question? Why are you asking
I
that
didn't ask
question?
her. I didn't ask her.
Even in your mind,
I didn't ask
he
in
might
my mind,
prefer
I
to
didn't ask
talk to
her.
you for one reason or the other than the other person.
I'm just telling you now because it's you I'm relating the story to.
Okay.
So I was asking that question in my mind that why is it that she's insisting on speaking with me? Why not the other person? So after all this episode and all went, so the person that is like a unit head is she's pushing to leave for another unit.
Okay.
And this is where my question is really going now.
Okay.
Someone my DH was now like, oh, she's not confident in the way I handle situations, that I'm more calm, responsive. I think things through before attending to people, that even when those marketers come with transactions, I always try to reason with them and see their point and find a way of also not bending the policy at the same time helping them achieve their goal. She was like, I'm not aggressive and confrontational like my other colleague. That one can shout at them and talk to them and say, no, I will not do this. That's where my question is coming from. Now, something I did and I was calm and responsive and I still got that kind of, aggression from that lady.
I've told
She
you.
was not still satisfied
Hold
with
on
the
now.
way I just calmly attended to her and said, okay, please.
Eunice, I don't know how you will do this. You are not immediate. Whatever the way the person responds to you is an indication of the way you see the person. Forget about what you said. You're already communicating vibrationally to the person by the way you're thinking about him and the way you see him. And I'm saying you need to change that first. Your
Okay.
frequency speak before you speak. Your frequency speak before you speak. Your frequency speak before you speak. You speak vibrationally before you speak verbally. You speak vibrationally before you speak verbally. So people can pick it even before you speak. So it's not about what you say. It's
Okay.
about the way you see that person in your mind. And I'm saying spend more time first. Ensure that you create a right impression about this person in your mind.
Okay.
Not just
Settled.
greeting in the office. Not just greeting in the office. I'm talking about perception in your mind. Do it long enough, you are going to begin to see changes in the attitude of that person to you. I'm telling you.
That point is well taken, like well noted. But my question is,
Yes.
once you choose this part of responding, how
Yes.
do you now handle? That's where I'm going with my question. Where people now begin to see you as, oh, not capable of something like manning a team because you are more responsive than reactive. Because
Hold on,
the
hold on, hold
corporate
on,
politics
hold on, hold on.
that
I'm confused. I'm responding. I'm thinking I'm a better customer service person. How do you see I'm not manning a team?
that's where I'm
No, no,
going.
no. There's still something you're not
That's
telling me.
where I'm
Hold on.
that's
I'm
where I'm going.
responding. So that means a customer come, the customer is shouting, is on angry. I'm able to calm him
Exactly.
down, and you're saying
They expect
I am not handling the situation better. When the customer left
exactly,
happy, I
exactly,
won't bother myself about you.
exactly.
I won't bother myself about you. There's no point. I don't need to argue.
That's
I will
where
not
I'm going
argue.
because
No, hold on. I will not argue with you. I will not say anything because for me, obviously, you can't see. So there's no point arguing with you because arguing with you will not even
sometimes
solve the problem.
to
How
me,
can
you
I
see
be
this thing
more
about corporate
responsive
politics.
to
As I
customers?
said,
You say what?
our society is deformed because the ideal
I've told
of
you what to do.
what
Just ignore the person
uh,
and do what you need to do. What you must not do is to respond, to react with your words. You already know this person. Like I said, the reason, and I will repeat again, the reason why that person is not seeing the good you are doing is because he has an issue with you. Period. And the way to fix that is for you to change the way you see it in your mind. If you do that long enough, he's going to change his attitude towards you because that person have an issue. You are doing it right, but he has an issue because he want to find an issue because he has an issue with you. Because you also have an issue with him, even though you are not saying it. Because of the way you see him or her and what you call him or her in your mind. Am I making sense?
okay, sir. For the purpose of the call, let's just we'll
I just
continue
what?
it later.
No. Why are you complaining later? You are not, you still have a question. Look, I'm telling you,
Yes.
do
I'm
this for
not
a
getting that. I
month.
don't want to hear
Hello,
that before on the call.
Eunice, spend 30 minutes every day. Do what I told you to do. Do it for a month and let's compare notes. I mean, see what I send you an audio. Listen to that audio. While you are doing that breath work exercise, do this visualization of this person, the things he does, and the way you respond. Paint a picture of him in your mind. Say good things about him in your mind. Do it 30 minutes every day, 20 minutes. The audio 20 minutes every day for a month, and then let's compare notes. I'm telling you. Look, until you begin to see that what is happening around you is a reflection of what is happening inside you. Until you see it, you will not solve this kind of problem. Eunice, do we have a deal? You doing that for another 30 days? Do we have a deal?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Atasie, long time. Good evening. How are you? Where have you been?
Good evening, sir.
Where have you
I'm
been?
very well.
Have you finished?
No, sir, 300.
300 level. Okay.
Yes,
Go
sir.
ahead.
So thank you so much for this night session. Like it was a lot. And it got me thinking about a lot of things, like some of the things I've actually been thinking of lately. There was
Good.
something you said when you were talking to Eunice was you speak vibrationally before
Yes.
you speak verbally.
Yes.
And I can like I really can attest to this because the truth is sometimes, for example, maybe if I'm pissed at somebody, like maybe the person did something that I was not happy with or I'm not happy with, and you're already thinking about it in your head, like ruminating over it. Like I don't know, by default, it just comes out of your mouth in a way, even if
Mm-hmm.
you don't want it to come out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's so because you first off like think vibrational, even if you're trying to even pretend that one day there's going to be an outburst and it's going to
Yeah.
all come out, and then you're going to be like, oh, I'm not going to take it anymore. Like this is all the culmination of all of those emotions will just be vested out on that day. So that is so true. Okay, so for me, what really stood out for me personally was the scenario of where you said we should turn some people turn their shit into manure
Yes.
and use it to build something good. And it was just so mind blowing for me because it's so true. Like we all go through stuff.
Yeah.
That's true. That's life. Life happens, and it just depends on how we deal with our own problems.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously, for me, to be honest, it was just so mind blowing because yes, we go through stuff. Like everybody on this earth, we all go through different form of challenge and trouble. It's just how we use it and how we make use of that. And then I was also thinking about something that, say for example now, sir, I want to ask a scenario, a question.
Go ahead.
Maybe for example, you have a murderer and then you have the victim's family. Okay, so this person literally killed somebody. Like, is it not just, it's justifiable that these people are actually sad about, like sad and angry about this guy and literally almost even want to kill this guy because he literally murdered their, maybe their loved one or something. In that kind of
Hold
situation,
on,
would
hold
you
on,
say that,
hold on.
oh, we should,
Murdering that guy, does it make their loved one awake?
it doesn't.
It doesn't now.
But the emotion of like anger towards the guy is
It's
justifiable
not,
because they are humans.
you, are
Right?
you see, don't think like a human, think like God. Don't think like a human. I'm serious. Do not think like a human being. Think like God. See like God. See like God.
Yeah,
If
so
you see
hard.
like a human being, you will behave like a human being, which is ensure take your pound of flesh. The only thing that has not solved the problem. That has not solved the problem. Rather, probably aggravate the problem. And make things
Okay.
worse. Yeah.
And so you said something about focusing your attention on the problem, like not focusing your attention on the problem. If
Yes.
not, you'll be aligned with the problem.
Yes.
And I want to ask this question because a part of my reason was like, if we are not focusing on the problem, is that not like we are trying to not face reality? Is that not like
No.
us being like
You are not. No. Don't face
absent of
that.
that
No.
reality?
Don't face that reality. That's not the reality you should face. You should face the reality you want. Face what you want. Because when you focus on the problem expand. You align with it. You feel bad and you attract negative things to yourself again. Because as a man thinketh in his heart, so is it. Because you are going to have an emotion, which is an energetic vibration that compound to a frequency that attracts similar issue to you again. So it's unwise to be sad, unhappy. It's a sign when you feel sad, it's a sign you don't have control about how you feel. But it's a sign you don't even know the implication of how you are feeling. Because if you know the implication and you still feel that way, it means you don't have control. But if you don't know, that's even worse. As humans,
But like, how
the
can we
next
now?
thing is to feel bad. But as an awakened human being who is aware of how things work in this life, to feel bad is the wrong thing to do. Go ahead.
But like, I don't know, that is just so hard because like
It's
you
not
are
hard.
literally
It's
living in that
because it's not
problem.
hard.
You're
It's not hard.
experiencing the
It's
problem.
not hard.
You're
It's not hard.
experiencing that
You know
problem.
why
Like, how
it's
do
not
you
hard?
now?
The reason is because
How?
your understanding before is I must take my pound of flesh. I must feel bad. As in, this person has done so bad. Why will he do such a thing? You see that word? Why will he do such a thing? Those are evidence of the fact that you don't understand. You shouldn't be saying that because if you keep saying that, you will feel bad more. But feeling bad does not help you. It's like this thing is poison, but I'm trying to justify why I must take the poison. Because when you feel bad, even health-wise, you poison your system by increasing your level of cortisol, your level of adrenaline. And that makes you depressed the more. So it should, medical-wise, it's not even good for you. But it's the normal thing we do because we do a lot of self-pity naturally. We do self-pity. And in the need to do self-pity, we find ourselves in that situation. But that's why I said, don't think like a human, don't see like a human, think like God and see like God.
Think like a human or see like a human.
Don't see or think like a human. See and think like God.
Then I have one question.
Go ahead.
I think two more. You said you made a comment that you can only have what you already have.
Yes.
I don't really understand. Yes, I don't really get.
Whatsoever
I didn't really
you
get that.
desire when you pray, believe you have received, and you shall have it. You see, the belief you
But
have
isn't
received
it the
is
belief that
having it
drives?
vibrationally. Belief you have received is having it vibrationally. When you have it vibrationally, you will attract it physically. You can only have what you already have. What you have not received
True.
internally, you will not receive it externally.
Mhm.
Everything you
Yes.
want, everything you are praying for already exists because he has given unto us all things that pertain to life and godliness. What you need to do is to be in a state where that thing can come to you because goodness and mercy shall follow you. The challenge is that you are not positioning yourself vibrationally to attract goodness and mercy to yourself. That's why you keep praying for goodness and mercy. Goodness and mercy cannot find you because you are not in a state. The reason for prayer is to be in a vibrational state to attract what we are praying for to come to us. That's why prayer is beyond verbal. It's beyond verbal. Being beyond verbal. Your state of consciousness is prayer. Your state of consciousness
Yeah.
to always pray because you are actually always praying, only that you are not praying consciously, you are praying subconsciously by the way you think and how you feel. If you are thinking correctly, believing, knowing that what you have, you already have it, then you will receive it. So you can only have what you already have vibrationally, internally, and spiritually. Does it make sense?
Yes,
What's the
it
next
does.
question?
Thank you so much. Please, I'm sorry if I'm asking so much questions. There's also
No.
one thing I
You are
want to
not
ask
asking so
about.
much. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so you said something about avoiding middlemen, and there you said something about we should not think about how it would happen. Like
Yes.
we should not focus on the how. I didn't quite get that. Is it not the
So
how that will make it happen?
it's because you have not come in for a long time. The reason you focus on how is because you think you are the one that will do it. So do your part. If an idea comes to your mind, do whatever you need to do. It's not like you fold your hand and do nothing. But don't imagine how it will happen because your brain cannot conceive how it will happen. That's why I gave different examples. What are you
Yeah,
looking
it's not up
for?
to you.
It's not up to you.
Yeah,
It's up to God on how it's going to happen. It's not you that will determine it.
exactly.
This is the reason why people sometimes get discouraged when they give. They give and they're expecting that it will double because God is money doubler. But God you can reap through good health that will make you not to spend money in the hospital. You can reap through opportunity that shows up in your space, and sometimes you might not even see it. You can reap through different means. You're not the one that determines when you plant to the ground.
Don't
Let's say you
limit your
plant
mind.
corn. When you plant corn, do you know how many cob will come out? Do you know how many seed
No, you
will be on the
definitely
cob?
not.
You don't know how.
Yeah.
And it's not you that will determine how. In fact, the Bible says, he knoweth no how. You don't need to worry yourself about how because God has 1001 way on how it's manifest. Your job is to believe it has happened and act
Exactly.
like someone that know it has happened.
Yeah. Yeah. So this guy that spoke first said something about I think visualization. It works for you. Like I've experienced it of late very, very recently. Like it really works. Like he said something about being in a competition and then visualizing himself.
Yes.
I learned that tip from book Think and Grow Rich. It was like
Yes.
where he said think it in your head, feel the emotion that it brings. So I was actually doing a project in school, a particular school project. So we were like a team. I had a team and all of that. So we're already envisioning excellence, we're already feeling excellence, we're already acting like we're already excellent. And it did work out. So I just wanted to tell him that that stuff
Let me tell
actually
you what
works.
has happened. Immediately you begin to feel it. That is an emotion. That emotion is an energetic vibration. If you continue to do it, compound to form a frequency because frequency is the number of vibration per second. Frequency of vibration of a human being is like a product code of what you order on Amazon. That is what attracts you exactly because that thing you desire already exists. God is not creating it again. He has done it. Your job is to be in a vibrational alignment to attract it to yourself. So through visualization, affirmation, you attract it to yourself. That's exactly what has happened.
Very true. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. I missed your question. Thanks for coming. Grant, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
How are you?
I'm good. Happy Sunday, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. So first of my, I think I've enjoyed the discussion so far that I'm almost disconnected from the original lesson. And Eunice was not going to agree for you. Okay. So for me, the thought part where you said again, whatsoever things are good, whatsoever things are honest, whatever things are just and
Just,
lovely,
yeah.
things of good report, are prescriptions to think on.
Yeah.
And for me, something happened this week where I saw that somebody might have intentionally mistreated me and deprived me of benefits that I'm worthy of. And as I was fusing over it and fusing in my chair, I was just remembering that as I'm fusing this tonight, if anybody should hear me now, he will say that it's the way I interpreted it. So I will not try, I will not interpret it a different way. And I kept on trying. And finally, and coming again this night, I just took it off my mind, especially with the scenario you gave where when if shit or poo is thrown at somebody, some other people will magnify the situation, cry over it, beat themselves over it, and conclude that their life is over because somebody externally broke their life. And in the metaphorical form, use the poo to rub their body.
Mhm.
Whereas somebody else will take that same thing and make a manure out of it, and their life will be enriched that way. Again, and one of the times I remembered while I was just trying to solve that in my mind was, and I began to say it out because I think those thoughts, my subconscious has been prepared for things like this. That they mean it for evil. Somebody might mean something for evil. I'm not denying that it was maybe somebody intentionally did something, but God means it for good.
Yeah.
And as I repeat that to myself, it readjusts my emotions. And while you're
Exactly.
talking, yes. Then while you're now speaking again this night, I remembered that session we had during the 2 days break at the beginning of last month. I think the Muslim break,
Yes.
where we did this everything is on one road. There is no
Yes.
polarity.
Everything leads to one place.
Yes,
Everything leads to one place. Something bad happened to you, it leads to the same place, and you determine that place. You determine that place. So that means even though something bad has happened, you determine where it will lead to. One place. And it's the place of your desired reality. And how do you know the place? It's the way you respond or react to it. Everything leads to one place. That means even though it might be bad, but it will work together for your good. If you understand that, you won't feel terrible and feel bad and feel sad because of what he has done. Let me give you a good example. Sorry, hold your thought.
okay.
I always use this in my office. When people are having misunderstanding, particularly a lady and a guy in the office, I always tell them, I call them aside and say, look, yeah, you don't know, maybe God brought you to this office at this time. So you can meet with this guy and be able to put up with this kind of behavior. Maybe your husband is going to behave like this. And this is just a preparation ahead for it so that when it happens, you'll be able to contain and manage the situation because you're already prepared. And that was exactly what happened to Joseph. It was preparation. Joseph had to go to prison. If Joseph had not been in Potiphar's house, he wouldn't be able to perform in prison. He learned administration on a small scale in Potiphar's house. But he needed to learn it on a big scale because he was going to be a prime minister and he's going to manage the economy of the nation. He needed to go to prison where he will manage issues on a big scale. And he will get to meet a lot of tribe of that country, understand their mindset, understand their worldview, understand a lot of things about it, because he's going to deal with different tribes. And every tribe have foolish people that will go to prison. And he met all of them in prison. So he needed it. And all of them work together for his good. That's why this guy knows so much. In fact, I love that story. It's classical for me. See what he told his brother when he met them.
Yeah.
Thought you sent me here. You didn't send me here. God sent me here. Just imagine that interpretation. That's why he didn't feel bitter. Because in his mind, he's already forgiven them. He already see that, look, they thought they were doing me bad. They didn't know that they just like devil, like the way the devil orchestrated the death of Christ on the cross. He doesn't know that will be the salvation of man. The Bible says, had they known, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. That's exactly what happened. The devil thought he was doing it evil, but guess what? What he was doing exactly was what's going to help him to achieve the dream he has always had. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, sir. So another point you made, which I find profound and intertwined in so many things, is that when we see problems, it means we are looking only on the physical,
Yes.
because everything is solved in the spirit.
Yeah.
The mind realm is one, and all the answers already exist. Nothing is missing. And being aware of that is, so when we see a problem, we just need to know that the answer is here, but the reason I'm not saying it is because I'm not on that frequency.
You get the point.
And
It's a radio wave. If you're not on the
yes,
frequency, you will not hear the music. You will not hear the
yeah.
radio.
So the effort is now to know that if I can get myself on that frequency, I'll be able to access this answer. Like, be able to get, so the effort is now to charge up to the frequency and maintain that frequency state. I'm not judging reality really by eyesight once again. So I find that to be profound. I've been seeing a movie that has some magicians in it of recent, and as we were speaking, it has this power magic movie. As we were speaking of energy, I was just saying it that same way. And one statement you made that reminded me was when you said, if you think negative about somebody in your mind, you are charging them up. You are the one giving them energy. Your thoughts, can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Okay, your thoughts is charging their state. And also for reality, how that reality is an illusion. And because of that, the reason that reality that looks like that is a frozen imagination is drawing energy from the attention and focus we are giving it, or that I'm giving it. Therefore, when you starve it off, when you turn your eyes from it, because like for me, the profundity of it is that this thing is staying here because I'm the one empowering it. If I stop giving it attention and I don't want it and I'm focusing on it, then it's going to keep staying. So if I turn my energy state and switch from that thing to what I want and give energy and life to the thing I already want, then it becomes my new objective reality. What do you have to say on that, sir?
Sorry, please take that again.
Okay. So I said that the reality, that because reality is an illusion, the reason it stays in in my physical realm in front of my eyes is because my thoughts and attention is energizing it. That's why it can stay. That the moment I turn my energy from it and I starve
You
it
remove
off,
the power.
yes,
You remove what is fueling it. Reality
yeah,
is an illusion. Reality is an illusion. Reality is an illusion. It's so important for you to understand that. That's why you should not be worried about the reality you see in your life today. It's an illusion. You can change it. You have what it takes. You just need to be in the right frame of mind to be able to mold your reality to fit what you want.
So I think I'll have to have a question out of this.
Go ahead.
That if I'm beginning to see that there are alternate paths to achieving this same level of frequency and consciousness. And the reason is that I see people who, like, I know that principles operate. If you don't know them, you somehow get in the principle because you know some other things. But somebody who is trying to get very, very rich, like someone like me, like and it just goes out direly, desperately, just jumps into the airy waters or the muddy waters to do everything, works all night, stays all day, jumps into marketing, asks everybody anything, sells a product, try the first thing, it fails, but it's just so desperate. And at the end of, let's say, some 3-5 years, he ends up succeeding. And I see that, I'm like, this guy wasn't doing the everything, was not doing the
How did you know?
affirmation. Ah, okay.
How did you know its frequency of vibration?
No, I'm not
Telling
saying
you
it's
to
frequency.
say it, or is it state of consciousness? You
State
know,
of conscious.
and you go and listen to How to Win in Life. I don't know if if you were in the session. It was about 2, 3 weeks ago. How to Win in Life. There is a frequency of winning that people that are winning are. There is a frequency of winning. I think you need to go and listen to it. If you go on 2 or 3 weeks post, you will see it in the WhatsApp group. They are at a frequency. Sometimes they pick it up because they follow the way their daddy or their mommy or their relative behave. They pick it up. That's why some people pick us off just by relationship they have in their family. They just pick it up. They don't know what they are doing, but they just find themselves vibrationally aligned because there's a way they think by virtue of the environment they grew up. They think possibilities. They don't see any issue. I think they just think possibilities. Let me give you an example. My son has created about 4 different games. One of them we're even trying to, and he will write the rule, and he's 7, 8 years now. He will write the rules for the game. When he did the first one, when I saw what he did, I had to go and get a cardboard of cornflakes, rule it for him, put a sellotape around it to make it stronger for him to be able to. And I encourage him to do more because I'm trying to create an environment for him to be creative. So as far as it's concerned, creating stuff should be normal because that's what he does. He plays chess. He's on the internet playing chess with people around the world. He will beat me in chess. Why? It's the environment. So he has a mindset created already, and he's still just it. Environment. So he's already at the frequency, and it's going to continue like that. So you just see that some people are just able to do something. Some people just are not afraid. Why? Environment. Let me tell you. When I was leaving banking to start a business, my colleague said, "Dele, you are going on a suicide mission." To me, I didn't see anything wrong in leaving a good paying job to go and do business. You know why? My parents were entrepreneurs. In my house, I've not heard people saying they are waiting for salary. So doing business was normal because growing up, that's what I see my parents do. But if you grow up in a home where parents are both employee and talking about salary, or when we get salary, it will take a number. You must come out of, you are already been programmed. You are already at the frequency that will not make you to think of possibility of even doing something yourself. That means you must be exposed to something else that will make you to. I'm saying all that to say that some people are subconsciously at the frequency. They are not even aware. And that's why I say you should go and listen to that session on how to win in life. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I think I get this now. Exposure changes frequency.
You get it. You get it.
Yeah.
You get it. You get it.
That's interesting and profound. Then this statement you made while talking to your niece, you said your energy speaks before you do.
Yes. You speak vibrationally before you do.
Yeah, it speaks vibrationally. Communicates vibrationally before you do. And then in respect to the subconscious mind, there is no past, there is no future, there is only the present. And as we look on problems, and I really love that one, and as you were even speaking, I began to change it in my mind that there is no problem. Therefore, when I look on a situation that seems challenging, I need to look at it from God's eye view and see that this problem doesn't exist. It's already solved. It's just traveling through time to show up in my space.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
So
Favor. Second favor. Good evening.
Evening, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you very much for the session today. I think a lot of questions and a lot of interactions have also, I don't know, added to what I was thinking while we were speaking.
Okay.
I want to say that one of the things I took away was the point where you said goodness and mercy
Shall follow you.
So for me, that means that aligning myself appropriately will make goodness and mercy follow me rather than myself chasing goodness and mercy around, which is
whereas it's chasing you.
I can imagine that kind of race.
Yes,
Um,
so,
thank you very
and
much.
unfortunately, you are not conscious that it's chasing you. So you won't be able to position for it.
True, true. Thank you very much, sir. And then secondly, um, around the frequency and
Yeah.
responding rather than reacting. I was listening to Eunice while she was speaking, and I I can relate to what she's saying.
Yeah.
And not that anybody who works in a work environment already knows that what she's saying is a norm, is not
Yeah. Yeah.
usual.
Yeah.
But I think one of the things that we do sometimes is because that person is giving that energy, we want to give back that
React.
by reacting. But
Yes.
the truth is there are things that we have control over, which is our own self.
Yeah.
And so that means that if we have control over it, it's not like I don't know for any other person, but I know attending the sessions, one of the things it has done is that it's not like at every point in time I just just hit it immediately. No, sometimes I want to react, but I just remember the consciousness
Your
in, oh,
subconscious mind came
yes,
in.
no, you have to respond, not react. So
Yeah.
it like controls and then takes me back, and then I see like a 360-degree change. So like what you had mentioned, that what you explained was a typical example. The lady wants you to come, you know she's going to do this, you've pictured it already, it has always been happening. What if at that time she says, come upstairs, you just say, oh, okay, I think this is my priority now. You drop every other thing and attend to it. Sometimes it's initially when one starts to do those things, it looks as though, oh, maybe you're weak. But
Yes.
over time, you will find strength because
Yes.
it shifts everything, shifts your emotion. What would have happened that would have made your day so sad for the entire day? You just find out that you have moved on from there, and the person is even from her own seat, looking out for you and wondering, is she now moody? Has her mood changed? And she's looking out to see what that reaction would have been or why she didn't get that energy back. So thank you very much, sir. I know that we're all in different phases and we'll actually be working on it differently. But sincerely, from what I've learned, it's not as though when we hear these things each session, we just become automatically so strong to act.
We can't hear you again. Favor your network.
Sorry, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can
Yes.
hear you now. I can hear you now.
Okay, sir. Such that so when we face such challenges or when we face things that would require us to react, we respond or we're immediately brought back to that. Even when we want to react, we are brought back to the consciousness of ensuring that we stay at a particular frequency. And I like when you share the table around where we should be operating from.
Yeah.
It then means in spite of what we face in the course of the day, in spite of the things we experience, the better place to be is to be at a high frequency where we're not exposing ourselves to every other thing that is happening around us. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you very much. Praise, good evening.
Sorry, sir.
Yes, go ahead. You have a question?
Yeah, no, I want to take 1 minute to say also, I want to say well done for the session at our place. I don't know how I stumbled into it. They shared it, but they shared it quite late. But when I saw
Okay,
it,
you mean on your bank?
yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
I joined the session and it
Thank
was.
you.
I want to actually commend you. There's something that stood out for me in the course of your speaking. I like the fact that you're very practical and you have very high integrity because it's one thing to actually listen in sessions here and then maybe you see the person in another arena or something.
Okay, yeah, okay. I get
maybe then compromising, it's going to look somehow. But while you were speaking, I could tell that it was the same you on this platform. And I you understand what I'm saying. And on that platform, and not minding who was there or whatever anybody was going to feel, you actually delivered, and it was fantastic. Well done, sir. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Please send me the link. I would like to watch it. Particularly, there was a presentation there I really would like to. The lady that presented from, I think it's covering your Middle East and Africa. The lady that did the main presentation before the panel session. So if you can
Okay.
get the link for me, I'll appreciate it.
Okay, I'll check and find out.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, Praise. Good evening. Hello,
Hello,
Praise.
sir. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir. Thank you for the session. It's been enlightening so far.
Good.
There are three things. Let's say four, but three majorly that stood out to me.
Okay.
The first one is you said reality is an illusion.
Yes.
And after hearing you say last week that you only see 0.35% of the light spectrum, I think I can agree with that. I mean, reality is what we make it.
Yes.
There is in reality, there's nothing called reality. Because in that case, reality is subjective. Reality
Yes.
is what
It's very subjective. Reality is not true. It's very subjective.
reality, that's true. It's very subjective. So that brings to question that the things that happen in our lives, that is what are fully, like 100% responsible for everything we experience.
Fantastic. I love that. You get it. Don't blame anybody.
Exactly.
If you don't like the fruit, change the seed. If you don't like the fruit, change the seed. If you don't like the fruit, change the seed, because you are the one planting the seed. Go ahead.
Yes. Exactly. If you don't like the fruit, change the seed. Secondly, you said attention is alignment.
Yeah.
And this matches something I heard from Les Brown like a couple years ago. And he said, whatever you focus on expands.
Yes.
Which on the flip side, it means whatever you shift attention from, whatever you neglect, dies out, or it withers out. I mean, if
you can do the same for the problem.
You can do the same for the problem. And then you raised the question, somebody raised the question, so part of today's discussion, like how do we maintain a frequency? How do we remain on the frequency? And I think when you answered Ekene, you said you should imagine, or what would you feel like after you won?
Yes.
But I added my own to that, and I'll be like, okay, what would I be doing if I won?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, in addition to that, I thought, what would I be doing if I won? So what are the things I'll be focusing on instead of focusing on the problem? I hope I got what you said.
Yes. In addition to how you feel, because what you will be, there's some things you will not bother. For example, you won't bother yourself about like, if I have X amount of money, there's a way I would think. If I go to supermarket and they say this is the price, I won't complain. Why? Because I have it. Even though I might not have it now, but because I know I have it, I tell myself I'm coming back to pick it up. Not that it's expensive, I can't afford it.
Yes. I think that's the second point. One, reality is an illusion. Two, attention is alignment, that is what to focus on, expand. And thirdly, you said you can only have what you already have.
Yeah.
Which means I think I understand that one on a good, I understand it well enough. Because time, space, and matter are elements of the physical reality.
Yes.
I think there's no time doesn't have to produce reality. Space does not exist. Whatever I would think in that is really that the highest level of, let's say, efficiency or the highest level of efficiency we can get to is when our thought and the actualization of the thought, when between our thought and actualization of the thought, there is no gap of time at all. And you also said that pushing something, saying I will have it, automatically pushes it to the future.
Yes.
Because there's no time in the spiritual realm. That is all we have to say is I have it, then get on the frequency. By default it gets attracted to us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really about that. And one final one. When you explain to, I think in response to your needs, or in response to what somebody said about Eunice's question, you said, like in the case of Joseph, you said God allowed Potiphar's house, or his experience in Potiphar's house to happen because he was preparing them for something else. And you said God can experience a problem in the now because we are going to experience something similar or something bigger, and it just helps prepare us for the future one. But my question is that not justifying the nonsense behavior of people in the now? Because if we say somebody's doing now,
the people will behave the way they will behave. You don't have, even though it's nonsense behavior, but don't have control. You can't control the way they behave. They will misbehave. It's you that will remain true to what you want for you, because everything leads to the same place. So the person behaves wrongly, you can still ensure, in spite of that behavior, you have your desired reality. So it's you that will determine if that will lead to your desired reality or not, because everything leads to the same place. Because everything works together for good. So he has misbehaved, let him misbehave. It doesn't stop you from achieving what you want to achieve, because you can't change him anyway. You can't stop him from misbehaving.
That's true.
You can't. So is the way you now respond or react to the misbehavior that determine what become of you. And that is more important for you than, so you have control over that one, but you don't have a control over the way the person will behave. But we have control over whether you will respond to it or react to it. So focus on that. So you can respond and still achieve your desired objective.
Okay, sir. I think that's all. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, everyone. It's been
Please, I have a question.
Go ahead, please.
I'm so sorry for the inconvenience. Okay,
Go ahead.
the guy that just finished speaking said something very important.
What's that?
And I wanted to also ask a question along that lines, that what if we are like too understanding? Is it not justifying people's behavior? I want to bring it to the context of, like,
what do you mean?
A parent, sir?
Go ahead.
So I want to bring it to the context of a parent and child relationship. Okay, maybe the child is like emitting certain traits that are not really the most pleasant. Are we just going to say, oh,
no,
we're going to be...
So you can discipline the person without being angry. Can discipline without allowing it to affect how you feel. You don't have emotion. You are disciplined to address the issue. So, for example, when I'm disciplining my son, I let him know why. Because many people just punish. They don't discipline. They punish. And the punishment, when you get someone, you want to take a pound of flesh on the pain he has inflicted on you. It's like a revenge. See what you did, I'm going to. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, for example, now, there was a time I told my son, stop playing football, stop playing in the house. He play, and mess up the TV. We have to buy another TV. Now, he has known the reason why he should not play football. And I'm not going to beat because of that. I'm not going to beat because of that. I'm not going to beat because, but now, I now noticed one time he was now playing, not football, playing something else. I said, but you know what you did before. Okay, now you are going to kneel down and serve punishment because you've seen the implication of what you did. Now you're doing it again. That means you have not learned your lesson. But I'm not going to beat. I really beat. I would rather...
Okay, response that is reflective.
You say what?
Like giving a response that is actually reflective, that makes the person reflect on themselves.
As much as possible, I don't want what he's doing to make me... Why? Because I'm conscious of my emotion. I'm conscious of how I feel. And by most of the time, when you even react to the emotion, you will do what you're not supposed to have done, rather than you to be able to have conversation. Sometimes I want to know why. So I noticed he will leave his toilet and come to our own room to use the toilet. And I said, why are you not using your toilet? Why are you? So one day I called him. I said, come, I've been asking you this thing, and I'm not happy with the way that you are coming to inconvenience us here. Why don't you? And I said, because it's not convenient. Because that actually one is high, so the leg will be hanging. Unlike our own that is lower. I didn't notice that before. But now he said it. So now when he used it, I didn't bother because I can see the reason why. The way they construct it is not similar. Do you understand? So rather than, because before he was not telling me why, but now I know. So I allow him to do it. What I say is that it's just understanding and let him know why you are doing what you are doing. So you can't condone bad behavior. I won't condone it. So he knows he won't do something wrong. In fact, if he does something and I discover a lie, he will serve punishment. If he does something bad and he say the truth, he will not serve punishment. You know what I'm communicating? When you say the truth, you are free. When you lie, you'll be punished. So that I can use to telling the truth. So you are not to condone bad behavior. You just to ensure that you don't allow what they did to make you react emotionally.
Exactly, and control.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. See you next week. Have a great week ahead, and bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
All right. Good night.
Thank you, sir. Good night.